So that's the plan for the first floor. Second floor, this is where you are. You can see you are in this, you came in past the reception here, and now you are in this room here. And I don't know if you can see my cursor, so I'm just going to. So you are in this room here. So from here, you can just go past and leave and use the staircase to evacuate if necessary. Alternately, there is also an emergency exit. You can use either of these doors, or you can come out from this room through this door. And there is an emergency exit here near the toilets. Okay, there are two ways to exit. Right. So that's the assembly area on the ground floor, where we will take a head count. So we know there are, so let's say 10 people here in this room. And once head count is established, of course, the fire responders will move in. We don't have to do any firefighting. We don't expect you to respond to anything. And that's the emergency exit, like I showed you, near the toilets there. There's a key in the box. You can break the glass and safely exit if necessary. No smoking anywhere in this building. If somebody needs to smoke, you can go to the ground floor with designated smoking area. And we hope you enjoy your time at IMTC. And thank you for attending. Right. So now I will welcome Captain Pradhan. Share the screen. Yes, this is shared. It's being shared. Should I stop sharing?
Yes, so that I'll be seeing on the screen.
Right. Stop sharing. You are here in the screen.
Okay, good evening, all of you. Let us start with our lecture meeting today, monthly lecture meeting. Just a little bit about CMMI. We are now about to open our new examination office, the BS, Board of Examination of Seafarers. As you know that this is a joint venture with IME, and we will be inaugurating this office shortly. The entire BS will move from one office to another office in Belapur, New Bombay. So shortly you all will receive the invitation, and we would like to invite you, all of you, please join the function. Thank you. Amongst the other things, we have already planned the meeting for the next month. In our monthly lecture meeting, we will have a subject of casualty management. This has been a very, sort of a relevant topic, and we have been looking to have a good speaker on this subject for quite some time. Our search has ended, and we have Captain Sarabjit Bhutalia, who is going to be speaking on this subject. Details will be sent to you in due course of time. This meeting will be on the 16th of December. That is a Friday. And today with us, we have none other than our Captain Shailesh Bhambhani. Shailesh, can you please come in? Our today's speaker. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So, little bit about Shailesh. Shailesh comes with a rich experience of 25 years in the maritime field, from being a cadet, of course, to he was leading the profit and loss of a shipping company. So that level he is risen to. That's very nice. Sailing as a master in BW Shipping, Anglo Eastern, the two leading names in the industry. He came ashore a decade back, and with Scorpio Group as a commercial operator. Then he was the owner's representative and was involved in various projects with Scorpio. Thereafter, he was instrumental in starting a shipping company in Singapore. And for the same group, he also helped to set up Afchem India, a leading importer of polymers and soda ash, which achieved millions of dollars in turnover. Presently, he plays an integral role in a company called Smart Ship Hub, a maritime digital platform of global repute. Headquartered in Singapore, Smart Ship Hub leverages the power of IoT, Internet of Things, smart sensors, big data for predictive diagnosis. Big words. Yes, he'll explain to you during the lecture what all this means. Condition of monitoring and performance optimization. And that's his core competence in the data-driven intelligence field. Operators achieve a decarbonization goals, performance and objectives, and fleet reliability. All this will be explained to you this evening. He has an MBA in international business, and he is an alumni of IIM Calcutta with executive education in applied finance and member of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers. He is also a visiting faculty at NMIMS. He also mentors students at Techstar as well as IIT Mumbai. And of course, needless to say, he is a member of the Company of Masterpreneurs of India. So with that, may I welcome Captain Shailesh.
Thank you, sir, for the kind words. I think, I hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. Since it's the second hybrid meeting today, I mean, we had the first one last month. So this is the second one. Apologies for the delay, as we just had some technical glitches, but now we are up and running. What we'll try to do is we'll try to make it very interactive, sir, because technology is something we can all talk about for days and days and hours, because technology is changing while we speak as well. Yeah, so it's a topic which can actually be discussed at length. But what I've tried to do today is, since all of us are master mariners, we do have the audience that is there also. They're all learned audience. So we'll try to make it more interactive, sir. So please feel free to raise your hands, the people online and the people out here. If you have anything that needs to be asked, please feel free to stop me and ask me anything at any point of time, and I'll be happy to take you forward. The presentation, I'll try to not stretch it a bit, but keep it more interesting. I've put in a lot of slides, a lot of photographs that are there. Yeah, so that, because that is, as they say, a picture speaks aloud 1,000 words. So we'll take you back in time onto what digitalization in shipping is. So to the audience out here, what is digitalization and digitization? Is it the same, sir? You think it's the same? It sounds very, very similar. Digitalization and digitalization. It's more or less everything is the same, just some words up and down, but it means very different. Yeah, so it's two different concepts, two different processes that is there. So what is digitalization and what is digitization, and what is digital transformation, and why is it important to us as the maritime nation today? Because maritime industry, I would say, thanks to COVID, has actually gone leaps and bounds into digitalization. They have actually progressed much more in the last 2-3 years than they would have done in the last decade. Yeah. So what becomes important for us as leaders of the industry is to understand the basics and the fundamentals. Today, when we talk about the audience and talk about ourselves, to be very honest, till a few months back, I did not know what is digitalization and digitization. They both sounded the same to me. Yeah. But there's a fundamental difference. Digitization is right at the bottom of the triangle. Yeah. Because right at digitization is nothing but transition of analog data into digital format. We have something, we have this paper, we've scanned it, and we made it into digital. Yeah, that is digitization. We made it digital by digitization. Yeah. Now what do we do that with that paper which is scanned? Yeah, that is the digital data. Now we use that data, which is in the digital format, into digitization and the benefits of digitization. Yeah. So if I come across, show you the definition here. Everybody can see the screen up there as well. I'll just see the question and answers are here. Okay. We can monitor the question and answers there. If any questions? Okay. So if I just go up across, digitization is the process of converting information from a physical format into a digital one. It is the simple process of re-representing non-digital data in the digital format. So that is digitization. And example, scanning bills, documents. And digitalization is the process of leveraging that digitized data, to improve business processes. Now we had a lot of paper, we had a lot of files. We had a lot of near misses reports which are in physical format. Now they are all put into the system. They are all put it in a digital format. Now, basis that we have actually analytics that we can do. What is the lost time that is done? What are the near misses? What is the amount of human error that is there? There's a lot of leverage that we can do. There's a lot of analytics that we can do. Now, what is digital transformation? This is the process, or this is where the industry is heading towards. And it is not only the shipping industry. A lot of industries are doing that. When I talk about shipping, I talk about the complete logistic chain. I talk about the supply chain management, out of which the logistic management is a part of the supply chain management. So complete supply chain management is going through a digital transformation. So in other words, that appears alongside digitization and digitalization. Basically, digital transformation is the impact caused by the process of digitalization. So it's what happens after you do digitalization, how you improve it to improve how you process the data to improve your top line, your bottom line, get in new businesses. So that it is. So what is the process? The pointer is this one. There's the pointer center one. So, okay. So what's the process? When we talk about digitalization, and digital transformation, I made the error. It is that similar. So the first part is digitalization. Digitization, then is digitalization. It is a tongue twister for me, and it is a tongue twister for everyone. But this is the kind of similarity that we feel that it shows, but it is not the same. So what the focus is? It is data conversion, it is information processing, and it is knowledge leveraging. So that is the main focus of the three parts of the triangle that we spoke about. We have the goal, which is analog to digital, automate the existing process and change the company culture. That is what we have to go towards when we talk about digital transformation. Activities, as I've told, is making paper into digital, creating a complete digital work process, and more importantly, is creation of a new digital company and transformation to a digital one, wherein everything we don't say we are replacing humans. We're just trying to make things better, or making the human error a little bit more possible. I'll speak about artificial intelligence, machine learning. It is not there to replace humans. It is to enhance the efficiency and reduce the amount of errors that we usually do. And then there are tools that are there. What kind of tools do we have? Computers and scanners. We have the IT system, and this is a matrix of big words: digital transformation, AI, robotics, ML. This is already there. Part of it is there, and we are moving towards it at a rapid pace. You would have heard very recently, if you would have read a newspaper about 2 weeks back, we had a lab in Korea, which were making robotics, and the robots actually because what the scientists were trying to do is shut them down, and the robots were built in such a manner that if somebody tries to shut you down, you download the link how to avoid being shut down. So I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Digitalization or technology is a double-edged sword, but we're still moving towards it. What are the challenges? When we talk about paperwork, I remember when we first went on ships, we had a full library of manuals and everything. Now today we get everything on a CD. Then we had it on a CD. Now we don't even have it on CD. We have it on cloud. the challenge with digitalization is price financials. It is expensive. It is not something which is cheap. It is time consuming. It is expensive. And when we talk about digital transformation, what's most difficult is resistance to change. Because when we say something, even if we talk about we want to introduce a new project, we want to introduce a new process, there is always resistance to change. ये चल रहा है ना ऐसा, कब से चल रहा है? Everything is going well, but we are only trying to improve ourselves. We are only trying to make things better. Yeah, and as I told you, the various examples. So, what are the benefits that is there of digitalization? This is from Business Tech Weekly. That is 36% time to market. That's how faster you come in. It's 40% improve efficiency. When the data, and we have a saying in the industry, data does not lie. Yeah. What I mean, of course, garbage in, garbage out as well. But assuming everything is constant, assuming everything is good, data will not lie. What you punch in, that comes out. You're punching in one will come out. You're punching in double A will come out. So data is what it is. It's the single source of truth. This is the motto of a company as well. Single source of truth. We talk about 35% meeting customers' expectation because our systems are faster, our processes are faster. We are more able to deliver what is expected rather than having a delay, a lag. And 21% introduction of new streams. You'll be very surprised with the amount of data that we have. What we can do, what kind of new businesses that comes in. I was recently in Hamburg at SMM, and there was one paint company, and they said, we've gone into digitalization. And I said, what are you doing into digitalization? You're a paint company. He's like, no, we are actually monitoring how our paint is performing using data. And we can predict hull fouling, and so it is the amount of data that can be utilized. It's very interesting, but it also, as I said, it's a double-edged sword. What do you do with that data? What do you do with that reports? Because at the end of the day, it's so much of information overload. You need specialists to understand that. You need people to make sure what it means is the correct thing that it is supposed to give. Yeah. So let's say shipping, we remember all this. We all started off. So you would have seen this on the left. You would have seen it for sure.
Not yeah. I started, I ended my career with that.
So you have Captain Kapil is here. Yeah. So Captain Kapil is here. So he says he started with a typewriter. He ended with a typewriter. Luckily, I started with a typewriter. I ended with a iPhone. So the industry has actually moved quite a bit from what we did, how we did things at back then. We had the radio officer that was there with the, the complicated VHF system and MFHF that we had, to the satellite phones that are there today. So just taking you through a journey of what, and specifically to maritime industry, how the maritime industry has gone through. Yeah. When did it all start? When did digitalization or digitization and everything start in the maritime industry? It is not like it started overnight. Yeah, anything does not start overnight. With the advance of GMDSs and Inmarsat, that's the first data-driven, or it's the first, where computers were used. When first time the computers were used at work as such in the shipping industry, in the maritime industry. So we had the GMDSs, we had the Inmarsat that is there. But the real breakthrough came in AIS in 2002, Automatic Identification System. That really we can say is a game changer that happened in the maritime industry. But you see, that is also 20 years back. We don't talk about, of course, we had the ECDIS, we had the paperless chart, we had VDR, we had a lot of upgrades in the shipping industry, but they were all byproducts. The first real breakthrough was in 2000, way back in 2002, which is about 20 years back. So, in fact, we talk about UNCLOD as per report 75. Digitalization in maritime transport can be divided into 3 stages. We talk about optimization. So it's optimization, extension, and transformation. So this is UN report. Yeah. So they have done the extensive study. It is not something that I have come up with. And they published this report about 2 years back. And they have identified that the maritime industry needs to optimize maximum efficiency and reliability in the existing processes to reduce the cost of trading. Today also, we talk about India, and we talk about the transportation cost or the logistic cost in India. We are talking about 14.4% of the GDP. We're talking about $150 billion. We compare that with China, which is 10%. We compare that with Germany, which is 8%. Yeah. So 14.5% is a lot of, expensive logistic costs that we have. But even UN agrees that the systems need to be optimized. The industry needs to be more transparent. And this is what happens with digitalization. I'll show you something wherein where the industry is going towards tonnage sharing, which is already happening in the container industry, but that is the future for the other industries, other trades as well. Then is the extension, moving beyond efficiency to produce opportunities for new services and businesses. So this is in real life also. When we talk about, we want to optimize something first. We want to get it streamlined, or as we say, we want to get it ship shape, and then we improve on it. Yeah. So then that is what we talk about. We do an extension of it. We improve the processes, we improve the system to get new business opportunities, to get new revenue streams. And then finally, we talk about transformation. That is reinventing logistics. Sir, can you give me an example? How are we reinventing logistics, sir? Anyone in the audience? How are we reinventing logistics? Anyone online as well? I would be more than happy to listen to you.
Begin with the reinventing documentation.
Documentation has already gone through a lot of reinvention, sir. So that is, but we are talking about reinventing logistics. Very, very simple example. Anybody can think about something. How we are reinventing logistics. Pradhan, sir, how do you think you're reinventing logistics? You remember when we used to Inland waterways is specific to India, but you remember even if we have a gyro failure on a vessel, or we had a small chip that need to be delivered at anchorage, there used to be a huge tugboat of $10,000 going and delivering that small tugboat. We're reinventing that. We're sending drones now. Yeah. So that is reinvention. That is all. Of course, regulations are there. But the technology has changed quite a bit. What happens is something which would cost you $5,000, $10,000. More importantly, it is carbon footprint. That tugboat is a 2,000 bhp tugboat is consuming, probably 2 tons a day. It's just going to deliver and something. So it's releasing greenhouse gases. Now you're doing the same thing through a drone. So, it has an overall efficiency. The system is getting efficient, and the technology is helping us in that. So we talk about trade and business models based on data-driven revenue and streams. You'll be surprised. We have a lot of companies nowadays, companies in Europe and Singapore. They are just acquiring companies. Yeah, they're acquiring competitors. It is not because it's in their that overnight their revenue or top line is going to grow. It is just because the competitors have a lot of data. The competitors have a different set of data points, which is not going to be organically available to them over a short span of time. So they're acquiring companies only for data. So this is how the industry is moving towards. It's scary, but it is true. So when we talk about shipping digitalization, we talk about digital technologies, which is IoT, Internet of Things, analytics, AI, blockchain, and that's the technology. Then best management practices or digitalization management practices, digital partnerships, and strategic thinking. I will take you through what is one of the biggest challenges that the industry faces today is clarity. I'll show you that in one of the barriers that we come through. And what are the solutions? With all this technology, we will see predictive maintenance, personal assistance, logistics, and trade smart contracts. We have, bill of lading, e-bill of ladings. It has been around through some time, using blockchain and all, but the industry has moved way far it. My own company, we get 3,500 data points every 15 seconds from a single ship. So that is the kind of technology we are talking about today.
Data point? 3,000 data points.
Data points means the pings. That means parameters. So we're receiving 3,000 parameters every 15 seconds from different. What is the exhaust gas temperature? What is the pressure? What is this thing? Using sensors.
Parameters of various.
Yes. So what is the so far, sir? Everything clear online? No questions? Anything online? I can't see the chat here actually online.
Yes, it's okay. That is the.
Okay.
Jenna will ask you questions.
Shailesh, I'm monitoring the chats so far. Nothing.
Okay.
We are hearing you very clearly. But the last one, the last 2 minutes or so, there was, I think, a brief interruption. Perhaps you can repeat for us.
Last 2 minutes. Internet connection is.
The word about 3,000 data points. So
Okay. I was talking to Captain Kapil here. So he was asking me about what is 3,000, what is data points. So we were just explaining him that it is basically parameters or information from various equipments and machinery on board. Yeah.
Sure. Continue, please.
So where are we presently? Yeah. Present also, if we start from the typewriter where we started, sir, to where we are present, we are quite advanced. We are quite advanced today also. But so what we do, there is voyage optimization. So I remember when I started sailing as a cadet, second mate's job with the master was plot the best this thing, get the weather, get the best, shortest waypoint, shortest route with the best weather possible. Yeah. Today this is done ashore by using voyage optimization softwares. There are softwares available. What has happened is, sir, all the companies, all the data, when systems got into digitalization, yeah, you had all this data which was available. Now those APIs are available for you, for route optimization, voyage optimization. So industry has started using that this is the shortest route, or this is the most economical route, or the fastest route. And when you interlay it with, this is not moving. It is not changing.
Try the mouse on the there.
And when you interlay it with weather, so we had the good old MFHF, the weather report, the NAPTEX and everything. We used to, as second mates also, I remember we used to plot it on the chart, and we used to, do our routes, and we used to say, okay, there's a depression here. Master will say, okay, let's do that. Now, before the start of the voyage, we have a GIF file that comes in that, okay, this is the predicted weather for the next 15 days. And weather accuracy has gone up. We have companies which have deployed hundreds of satellites which get surface weather every 6 hours, every 3 hours, and they are very accurately able to pinpoint exactly what is the weather going to be. And basis that, when we do with route optimization, as you see here, they say that it is sometime okay to go zigzag. You'll probably save more fuel, you'll reach faster rather than trying to go straight through a depression. Companies are already, we're doing more like, it's bad weather, please slow down at a certain speed. So they have less cargo damage, less, fuel consumption. What happens is, even the newer ships which are designed are more sleeker, are more fuel efficient. So when you try to increase the RPM or try to make her go through bad weather and more this thing, the consumption goes up exponentially. Yes. So it is prudent, and a lot of companies, that even we do that, is that we optimize. Okay, you go slow here, you go fast here, and here you go slow. So at the end of the day, as all of us will agree, while driving through Bombay, we don't get the best mileage. Yeah, because we're usually on first, second gear, third gear. We go on the highway, although we are on higher speed, we get more economical consumption. This is true for shipping as well, or ships as well. Always lower speed does not mean lesser consumption. So there is the sweet spot we talk about the sweet spot. So the sweet spot that is there, and this is all using machine learning, AI. We come up with all the data points that are there from the vessel, and this is not from the shop. Of course, to model those, we have the shop trial reports, we have the good old methodology, but on top of it, we interlay the latest technology and come up with accurate results. This caught on during the pandemic, remote surveys. Surveyors couldn't travel, and it was acceptable by class and coach say that you have a video monitoring. You're sitting on your iPad, you're sitting there, and they're showing you exactly what it is. Of course, we are back to the old days that we would want to see. Of course, we would want to go. There were a lot of loopholes, but again, now when we talk about the future, if I only talk about survey, which are not included in the slide here, but the future is condition-based monitoring. Today, we have the data points. Classification societies will in the future come up with, if you're meeting certain criteria with respect to the data of the equipment, the machinery, how it is running, you don't need to open it. It is without sounding controversial, at 5,000 running hours, we usually remove a piston and say, all okay, good, put it back. If we know it's going to be all okay, we don't need to open it. It is as simple as that. Even opening up a piston and just seeing all okay is also cost and money. There's a cost factor, there's a time factor that is there. Like when we can, this is, as I said, it's the future that we talk about, that the data is there, the data points out that the machinery is in good condition. Yes, we don't need to open it. That can, the maintenance can be, extended by a month. If I can put it very crudely and compare it with a cars today, I just received a phone call from one of my service centers. Your service is due. Yeah, my service is due since the last 1.5 months. But that does not mean my car has stopped. Yeah, so it is something similar that how the how optimized your machinery is, how well kept it is, what the data points are, how it's performing. It can be extended to a smaller interval as per the new regulations that's going to come in. We already have this. In fact, we have this for quite some time. That is underwater ROVs. Yeah, I can tell you, I have personally used this in 2005 on DP ships when we had this. So this right now they're using it not only for inspections. We have ROVs which are actually doing for cleaning as well. So you don't need to send a diver down. It can the ROVs can do the cleaning for you. Yeah. This is, I can proudly say, this is us, Smart Shipper. And I was talking about 3,000 data points, sir. This is, and again, I said, this is the present, not the future. So I'll show you the future as well. So this is the present. We do monitoring. This is the 3,000 data points that are there. That is coming. You have a vessel which is tracking live. These are live information. You know exactly what is the alarm that is there. What are the alarms coming? What kind of you don't really need to go into the manual, and you don't really need to open up. The system will give you what exactly is the reason. It does a correlation. It has a rule-based analysis that exactly this is the reason that this alarm is done, and this is what you need to do. Sir, I don't think we opened up a manual when we were cadets. By the time we became masters, nobody opened up manuals. I don't think people are used to opening manuals now. Everything is readily available. But when the system itself gives you the information, we don't really need to open up manuals. Because today, time is money. And especially the MRs, which are going at $60,000 a day. If the cadet is only searching for a manual for 2 hours or an exact, troubleshooting for 2 hours, we're talking about a few $1,000s already. So this is all present. So this is presently what we're doing. As you can see here, it is monitoring the fuel live. It is giving you navigational parameters, main engine parameters, alarms, this thing. And this is, I'll tell you, this is just the basic. This is just the basic. We talk about the logistic industry. The logistic industry, apart from shipping, we cannot ignore the logistic industry. It's closely interconnected with us. Logistic industry has gone a lot of upgrade as well with the logistic information system from sales, purchase, inventory, flow management to quality management. We cannot think about Amazon, Flipkart, or even right now we talk about Blinkit, which is delivering in 10 minutes without technology leveraging. So we have it is technology that is assisting them to leverage the speed and the time. They exactly know what the customer wants, what the customer preferences. They exactly have that thing in their warehouses, and that is one of the reasons they are able to deliver you in 10 minutes, 12 minutes. This is again the present. In naval architecture, we have CAD modeling, we have a digital twin designing. So this is all there right now. We call this the fourth revolution. Yeah, the fourth industrial revolution. Yeah, I don't know what the third is, sir. Please don't ask me that. So this is the fourth industrial revolution. So the so-called fourth industrial revolution, or Industry 4.0, it composed of 9 important technology pillars, and we're gonna cover more or less every one of this. That is CPS, cyber physical systems, IoT, big data analytics, 3D printing, robotics, advanced simulation, VR and AR, cloud computing, cyber security. All this has already percolated in the shipping industry. Shipping industry is already doing. We have a lot of use cases which are already there using this technology, but are we able to leverage it completely? Not yet. It will take some time. The main reason is the shipping industry is increasingly getting comfortable with digital solutions like performance monitoring, AI, and survey. But many ship owners are still waiting and watching. Because they really don't know which is the next technology. Technology is something which can change overnight. Technology is something which can become obsolete overnight. We had the pager, which everybody wanted a pager, but when the mobile came, the pager just disappeared. Yeah, probably it's in a museum in London somewhere that we can find a pager. Yeah, but technology changes are, it is a harsh reality of technology change, but it is a truth as well. But in shipping, one of the barriers that we have with technology is the investment. Yeah, I'll come to barriers as well. But most of the ship owners are waiting and watching because it is more about asset play as well. So ship owners do asset play, and you would want to have the return on investment on the technology investment within a short period of time, which is achievable as long as there's clarity at the top. What exactly is needed? What happens is a lot of ship owners, companies, managers, they just try to pick and choose. They try to say, we will take this solution, we will try to take this solution. But whereas our company, we actually try to give a 5-year digital roadmap. We say, we are not selling you a product. You come up with a strategy, what is at the top of your agenda, what exactly is your goal, and we will work towards making a system towards it. We will work building a platform so that in a period of time, you define your KPIs, and accordingly you have, cost benefit analysis, you see real world benefit and cost saving. So your bottom line increases.
Typically, in the tanker industry, what percentage of ships are actually connected, like you mentioned, with data points? Companies showed like this. So what percentage of ships?
So it is very minuscule. What happens is, if I remember correctly, from 2012 onwards, we had a lot of electronic ships. So the electronic ships did come up with a lot of sensors already. So we're talking about not even 10 years ago. So they already have a lot of sensors. At the end of the day, digitalization is coming. The data is coming through sensors. So it does not mean that ships before that is not possible. We have companies and with ships as old as 18 years old. Yeah, but using the same. I tell my clients, as long as it's on electricity, I will convert it to analog, I'll convert it to digital and put it on the dashboard. So, that is how the technology is. So when we talk about percentage wise, some ship owners have embraced it completely. Some of them are waiting on this thing. But in general, it is present in some form or the other with most of the companies. I mean, either they're using performance monitoring, voice monitoring, or something or the other. They're using it at different levels. So I can say it started off the future with me. So that's me. Yeah. This is a drone that I was talking about inspection, and this is, I can tell you, this is about 6 years back, not even now. And this is about 6 years back. This is more or less now. So drones are the future. It's not that drone deliveries and drones are not, the technology is not there. The technology is there. The technology has always been there for quite some time with the armed forces as well. But it is the regulations that usually delay the commercial implications of that. So even with shipping, that is one of the challenges, the commercial, the legal aspects of it. I talk about the future now, sir. We do have time, sir, right? Yeah. It's been about 35 minutes, so yeah. Okay. So I talk about the future here. So it's a connected global economy. It is everybody is talking to everything. We're talking, the ships are talking to the terminal, this is what it's coming down to, a connected economy, global economy, as well as there is a connected local economy. Yeah, wherein when you come into port, everything is connected. I'll come to that as well. This again, I can very proudly say, is us. Yeah, it's a knowledge processing center, and I can proudly say it's in India. Yeah, so all the information that is coming in is all, there's somebody monitoring it continuously. At the end of the day, it's data. You don't need to be physically sitting, and somebody needs to be monitoring it. We don't need a superintendent, with a hawkeye at all time. It's data. Data is coming in live, and the system is actually telling you what is happening. This is where machine learning comes into play. This is where proprietary algorithms come into play. Like, we want certain aspects of certain alarms, certain triggers we want at certain points of time. The system is giving that. 3D printing space. So it has been around for quite some time. We're talking about composite printing now as well. How the technology is going into composite printing. In fact, a few years back, I was mentoring a startup which wanted to have 3D printers on board. I think some companies did that as well. But it becomes a challenge when you have a ship rolling. You really can't print. So, they did have gyro stabilizers and everything and all, but it has not really taken off. Certain companies, certain sectors of the industry are using it, but still a long way to go. That is why I kept it under future. Connected ships, sir. This is in fact a company vision as well. Connected ships. Today, there is no reason a ship which is going in front of you, not talking to you, not telling you that there is a bad weather ahead, there is a wreck ahead, there is fishing traffic ahead. Yeah, we rely on information. As I said, it's a double-edged sword. So on the commercial side separately, it's like when we talk about the ocean, all the ships are on one side of the ocean, and the ocean is on one side. So we're talking about connected ships. The ships will be talking not only locally, we want the ships talking with respect to weather-based, with respect to hazard-based, navigational-based. We talk about shared tonnage. Why should ships be going empty? Why should ships be going at 3/4 capacity? Why should ships be going half and then looking? When you have connected economy, what we are trying to achieve when we talk about globalization, decarbonization, the idea is to reduce the carbon footprint. We're not talking about carbon footprints, and I'm not talking here about individual companies. We're talking about as an industry, the carbon footprints needs to be coming down. This is one of the reasons when you need two ships to do the same, when you can do it with two ships, why you need four ships to do that? Yeah, the same cargo carriage. Again, I'm not talking commercially. I'm talking only on the environmental aspect. This is 2030 vision of Tuas Port in Singapore. This is the future of ports. We're talking about what we see here, sir. We talk about automated guided vessels. Are we far off? We are not. We are very close. Yeah, tests have been carried out in California, which is, on commercial, on, not commercial on passengers, this thing roads. We are talking about a fixed route. If nothing stops, if there's a automated vehicle going round and round and round without drivers, because they're still doing the same work. Yeah. We have automatic trains and quays. We don't need somebody to handle it. There are sensors already there. You exactly know where to put, where it's going, what it's going to be more efficient. We have automated terminals that are there, connecting of ships. We already have the good old mooring line. Of course, it's been there for centuries, but with the technology coming in, maybe it's just going to be replaced very sooner than later, that we know. Yeah. But again, I talk about the future. We talk about ships which are, the just in time, the ships coming in, going out, the traffic monitoring system, all being intelligently driven, all being data driven. Yeah. Singapore Port 2030, they already have a vision. They're already doing big data and predictive analysis. They're already doing a project for automated shipyards. So they already, and Singapore is at the forefront of automation, MPA, and they're already doing a lot of projects. They are encouraging a lot of startups to come up with solutions which will make shipping more environmentally friendly. I speak about AI, yeah. So augmented reality and virtual reality. Sir, anybody can tell me what exactly is augmented reality and virtual reality? Yeah. Slight difference, yeah. So one creates a virtual atmosphere, one creates an atmosphere which is, augmented in nature. You see more something which you feel that you're there in front. Virtual reality, you see we use headsets, whereas this makes you feel you're present. You don't need a headset. You remember a few years back we had this app on the mobile wherein you put it somewhere and there'll be an elephant that will be there on the floor or something. That is augmented reality. Yeah. So virtual reality is the headsets that we have and we feel we are in a environment. This again is used, as I said, the shipping industry is using it. We are using it in training. There are companies which are already doing it. There are companies which are actually creating augmented reality training wherein they're talking about what it's not about a paper-based training or a PPT training. It's more about this is how your ship actually looks like. You're going on an oil tanker. They have the photographs. They have the, made a 3D design. And if there is a fire, you are running towards the extinguisher. The extinguisher is on the right and you're removing it. This is how the technology is moving towards. And this is again, companies are developing it and companies are using it for training. What is going to happen? I think Captain Pradhan's favorite topic of next month, casualty, less accidents, because we have more trained people. What happens is when we try to teach somebody, even if I keep talking and talking, even if I keep talking to my son, his attention span is 30 seconds, to be honest. But again, when we speak to a professional as well, it is only the grabbing capacity is of a certain time frame. After that, they start thinking of something. But when you make them see that, when you make them visualize that, when you make them feel that, that is the time when, it sticks in the mind and you're better adapted to perform in that environment. Big data, my favorite word. Yeah, big data is, there's small data also, by the way. Yeah, but we are using big data. Small data is being used in the banking industry nowadays. But the big data that we have in the shipping industry, there are a lot of big data applications for a ship operator drafting energy efficient solutions to cut on fuel consumption. As an operator, he's only bothered about fuel consumption, emission monitoring, and operations cost. As an operator, earlier in my days, I used to only look at how much noon report, how much did she consume, at what speed did she go, because at the end of the day, even what matters is the bottom line. is how efficient we've gone from point A to point B and how less of fuel we've used for that, because that is where the profits come. This is where we get our bonuses as well. Fleet planning. For fleet planning is smart allocation of fleet and other planning that actively involves proven statistical data. Shipbuilding, ensure maximum optimization for your new builds with the help of big data. Yeah, and technical management, analyzing previous mishaps. But the technical management actually has a lot of scope with big data, because they exactly know how their machineries have been behaving and what is the future. In fact, we at SmartShip also, we do something known as pattern recognition. We do deviation analysis. We do a lot of cutting edge technology wherein you can actually predict what is going to happen with the machinery in 6 hours, in 8 hours, in 2 days. This is the kind of information that we use using big data. 3,500 data points every 15 seconds. That's millions of data points, sir. So we are able to tell you exactly. And again, this is not something which is new. It is prevalent in the other industries. Yeah, these best management practices. We of course, the steel industry, the nuclear industry, they are doing all that. But we are getting what is relevant to the shipping industry. We're using that technology, we are putting it across to the maritime industry and making a use case out of it. Is it easy to convince ship owners, technical managers who are used to doing that, day in and day out? Not easy. Yeah, resistance to change. People say, "हमको immediate आप effect बताओ." Yeah. My answer is, sir, आप term insurance लेते हो, आप इसके लिए नहीं लेते हो कि आप, you're gonna die tomorrow. You take a term insurance because that is gonna save you a lot of hassles to your family later on. This is something more wherein when you can predict what is exactly gonna go with your machinery, how your machinery is doing. We're talking about health index for machinery, how the machineries are, what kind of at what age it is. We're talking about remaining useful life. If we continue running the way it is, how is she going to perform? Yeah. This is again very proudly I can say, this is us, big data analytics. Yeah, so we talk about the analytics. We talk about with that millions of data points, you can do anything. You can think about the correlation. You can think about what kind of analytics you want to do. You can think about any use case that you want, and just let the system do it. It is not a manual intervention that needs to be done. It is not 1 + 1 = 2. And sir.
So then all this data that is being transmitted ashore. So we mean to say that all this data is first received ashore and then transferred back to the ship, or ship is also receiving it live at the same time? In other words, is the ship dependent on the shore to give them the data point analysis?
So what happens is the data is originating from the ship.
Correct.
Yes.
Are they monitoring the ship simultaneously?
So our policy is we let it monitor on the ship as well, but it depends on owners to owners. I mean, it is available on your laptop, sir, on your mobile. So if you want your master to have it on your mobile, your company policy, which is all right. It depends on what extent of authority you would want to give it to the officers on board, what level of authority you would want to give it to the operators in the office or the managing director. If I talk about a managing director, he does not want to see a dashboard which received live information. For him, he wants to see at the fleet how much my vessels are earning. So we have use cases for the data that is there, using use cases to who is looking at it. If a superintendent is looking at it, he probably wants to see even the exhaust temperature. He wants to see what is the scavenge pressure. You want to see a lot of things. Why is this generator not running? Why is this? How the trend of that? How this trend is going? Why? Why the temperatures are high? Why there is a deviation in the temperature? But if it's an operator looking, he wants to see, okay, मेरा fuel consumption क्या हो रहा है? Today it was all right. It was this thing. Suddenly there's been a spike in fuel consumption in the last 2 days. Why is that? So he would want to, when we see noon reports, we see this thing, but when it is given in a pictorial format or a graphical format, it is very apparent. So it is more like either a murder is done and you do the, post-mortem analysis, हो गया sab, but this is what you did wrong. Or you proactively, when this is happening, you stop it there and then. So this is where the industry is going. This is what we do as well. We stop it there and then. When I was talking about the KPO here, this is exactly what these guys are doing. They are the eyes and ears. They are stopping it there and then, not at the end of the month, at the end of the voyage or this thing. Okay, sir, आप अच्छा हो गया, आप पहुंच गए point A to point B, but आपके ऊपर $200,000 का claim आने वाला है. You would also question, no, sir, वो पहले ही बता देते. What are you doing? Yeah, so this is where we are moving. This is where the technology is going. This is where the industry is going. That we are doing live data analysis and we are telling you exactly what's going wrong with the ships, to making it more smart and efficient. Again, we talk about, so sky is the limit, I would say. What analytics you can do, what kind of information you need, what kind of parameters you want to draw, we can do that. We talk about warehousing, future of warehousing, robotics, advanced robotics that are there. The clean fuel. In fact, I was there in Hamburg. I met the team which was making the ocean bird. This is supposed to be going on trial in 2024. They have this 80 feet sailboats, and one thing which I never knew was that wind actually comes in different direction in different heights, which I got to know there. And something interesting that they were talking about, we had a few questions, not only me, but the audience had a few questions. They are still in a research phase. So they don't have the answers yet, but then the future. What is it? It's clean fuel. Yeah, clean technology. And finally, the future, autonomous ships. This is where the industry will go. Be it some predict 2050, some predict 2040, some predict 2060. Yara Birkeland is actually operational in the spring of 2022. Of course, it goes from the production to one of their yards, which is, it's a small distance in the river. But again, this is already operational in the spring of 2022. Eventually, they'll make it completely autonomous. On the testing phase, it's going to be in phased manner, but we're talking about autonomous ships as a reality as well. But if the ships are autonomous, that means seafarers are not required, but does that make us redundant? No, we're on the other side. We still will be required. We still will be required for monitoring those ships, to making sure that they are run more efficiently and effectively. How it is reskilling ourselves. That is what we are doing. We continuously reskill ourselves. People were there on steam ships, went on coal ships. We are diesel ships. We're talking about electric ships also. Yeah, it's like diesel cars. Now we're going into electric cars. What are the benefits? I have broadly given it in 3 levels. When we talk about company level, it is better documentation, control, real-time analysis, work remotely, better decision making, reduce human error. This is some of the benefits that the company, on a company level, we have of the digitalization, and how digitalization helps company, how it helps on the world fleet. As I said, fuel efficiency, reduction in greenhouse gases, saving the ecosystem. And what will happen is there's going to be a lot of advancement in new fuel technology. We talk about biodiesel, we talk about ammonia, we talk about LNG. Are we there with complete clean fuel? Maybe from well to wake? No, not yet. But the technology will help us gather those data points on those engines, those vessels, right? Various things, and the technology is going to come in. New designs. And on an industry level, what is going to happen is we're going to have faster turnaround times, more efficient transits. We talk about, this is very interesting, predictive and intuitive ETAs to reduce port congestions. So when I talk about connected ships, connected economies, so if you come to know that you have to come to Bombay Harbor and you have to be, standing at anchorage for 5 days. I mean, it's always good because mobile signal milta hai in the older days. But now you have satellites on board. Why would you come at full speed, burn probably 200 tons of bunker, and just come and stand at anchorage? You would rather come on a slower speed or a more economical speed, yeah, to arrive just in time. Then there's lesser congestion. You come in instead of 5-day anchorage, you'll probably have 1-day anchorage, probably 2-day anchorage. But you, in the bargain, instead of consuming 200 tons, you consume 150 tons, 180 tons. So we talk about predictive ETAs. Yeah, it will help in accident prevention as less congestion, less casualty, less human error that comes into play. Yeah, and predictive maintenance. We already do this. When I talk about pattern recognition and the various big words that I spoke about, this is actually going towards predictive maintenance. Companies, the management are talking about zero breakdowns. Is it possible? It's a machinery, it's gonna break down. Yeah, but if it is knowing that it is gonna break down, you prevent that downtime. That is how it's gonna move. So what are the expectations and challenges? In the current era of internet and new technologies, the competitive environment has evolved and the customer's expectations and behavior. What the customer requires now is they want reliability, but the system should be robust. It is not something that just goes off. Yeah, it should be flexible. Everyone wants customization. My company policy, I want this at this interval. I don't want my superintendent to see. I don't want I want my junior engineer on board to see. Company policy, that flexibility, it has to be transparent. Everybody should be knowing exactly what's happening, and it has to be, most important is cost efficient. This is a very important factor that comes into when we talk about technology. That is why I think the iPhone 14 costs more than 1 lakh today. Yeah, but then that's this thing of cost in technology. What we face in the maritime industry are multiple challenges: reducing the environmental effect, ensure efficient and sustainable operation, increase short and long-term competitiveness, and stricter regulatory compliance. But as I said, the biggest challenge, sir, and I think most of us will agree to this, is clarity. What exactly is needed? What exactly is the goal of the organization? And that clarity on the organizational leadership level and the industry level. We talk about decarbonization, complete decarbonization, or zero, net zero and all. Clarity. How are we going to achieve that? When we talk on an organization level, when you go and meet a CEO, he says, I want this, I want this, I want this. Okay, all this is possible, but what exactly you want? So it has to be pinpoint. When we talk about, that is where we help. We tell leaders or organizational CEOs, sir, we will help you towards your digital journey. We will help you in your clarity, what exactly you need. You need cost efficiency with respect to your fuel consumption. We will work towards fuel consumption. We focused on fuel consumption. But if this is for a commercial operator, but if it's a ship owner, if he wants zero breakdown maintenance, sir, we will work towards zero breakdown maintenance. He doesn't care if my ship, of course, he does care that if it, consumes a bit more bunker, but if he's not paying for bunker, he started his ships out. His only concern is that there should be zero breakdown maintenance. That is clarity. So we help organizations, we help CEOs, we help companies to get that clarity so that they can reach their goals in a systematic manner rather than a haphazard way. Yeah. What are the barriers that we have? You would believe qualified professionals. Sir, if I start talking about Java, C, C++, Python, regression analysis, R+, and all, it's gonna be a lot of things. But we do have a lot of qualified individuals, but at the same time, it should be across the spectrum, that everybody understands what is needed. Everybody understands where the organization is heading. So there is clarity and vision and strategy from the top. Aligning business strategy and digital strategy. This becomes very important. What is my business into? If I'm a ship owner, I need to make sure that my ships don't break down. That is my business strategy. So I work towards it. If I'm a ship owner and I'm never paying for fuel, I'm only chartering it out, but my goal is mera fuel efficient hona chahiye. Of course, it does help on the commercial side, but that's clarity that's needed. Yeah. Employee motivation, very important. And resistance to change and cultural change. This is something which is last 2 minutes. Yeah. So this is something which is very difficult cultural change. A new the Gen Next is coming up with, they're born with mobile phones. My son does my iPad better than what I do. Yeah. And so they understand that language, but that's a cultural change. Not, I don't talk on the junior level, on the senior level as well. They have to adopt to technology. They have to adopt to, change in technology. On a world level, unclear regulations and guidelines, lack of industry standards, inadequate monitoring. So this is something which is, there's no collaboration. Everybody is working in silos on an industry level. We talk about companies which are in Europe, in Singapore, everybody is working towards, but nobody is working towards a common goal. Nobody is working towards something, sharing best management practices, sharing pools, sharing resources. And most importantly, investment requirement. There are only investment is being done on a world level in certain countries, in certain sectors, not on the industry as a whole. Yeah, on the industry level, cost of implementation, it is still very high. You talk about putting sensors and this thing. It depends on how old the ship is. It is a cost. But again, as I say, the cost can be recovered in 2 to 3 years as long as there's clarity what is needed. Cost of internet connectivity, this has substantially come down, so but it's still a barrier. And constant sale and purchase of asset, something which happens. We talk to ship owners. He says, "I only have a ship for 2 years." I said, "Sir, you recover much more, money in, within a month. Don't even talk about 2 years." Yeah, but then acceptance to change, and then more importantly, this is something which I mentioned. In 2020, Informa Edge did a survey for Inmarsat, and they said saving below 10%. This is significantly less than what sometimes people promise. What happens is people promise a lot. There's a lot of over promises. So with that over promises, what has happened is the industry has taken, okay, is it real or is it unreal? Whereas we have to be realistic. We cannot achieve overnight. We cannot start running ships on water. I mean, we sail on water, but we cannot run the engines on water. Yeah. So, which is not realistic at this point of time. Something when we talk about technology, we cannot ignore Gartner hype curve. If you see this cloud system, there's quite a mature cloud system that is it. Cloud sustainability. We have the Web3. There's a lot of things that are coming up. Machine learning, code generation. And there's a lot that has already, reached a high when we talk. And then we talk about the logistic industry as well. Yeah. This is an interesting study that we have as of May 2021. We have the challengers, the leaders, the visionaries, and the niche players. This is ability to execute, and this is completeness of vision. You see, DHL, UPS, KNL. They are market leaders. I was doing a research the other day, 2022. They are one of the 3 biggest companies in their space. They are 3PL, 4PL, 5PLs they're talking about. Yeah, all leveraging technology. Shipping is not very far off. We have Maersk here. So, which is, which are the challenges. So, you would see on the shipping side, we have Maersk here as well. We have Seva Logistics and DB Snacker as well. So, companies are getting onto the digitalization and the thing. And that's it from me. I mean, I took, I think, more time than was allocated to me, but I'll be more than happy to take answers, and I'll be more than happy to take queries right now, even offline, or even I would be more than happy. Anybody can contact me here on my email or my phone or WhatsApp and or LinkedIn, and I'll be more than happy to answer. So, any questions?
Thank you. Yeah. So, Shailesh, to begin with, of course, thanks for the lot of information in the lecture here. My question is this: everything in shipping is based on approvals, right? So, what kind of approval standards, if any, are in place for various services that you talked about here, if at all?
What I would say is most of the approvals, when we talk about approvals, we talk about flag state, we talk about classification societies. Yeah. The industries and I have to this up there. It's just trying to transfer you on the big screen. 1 second.
Click to exit.
Slideshow exit. I think it's all right. No problem. All right. Okay. We just want to transfer you. China, we want to transfer you on the big screen actually, so that others can see you.
Right. You just have to drag the Zoom screen to the right.
Okay. 1 second. Huh?
Keep it.
All right, you're on the big screen as well. All right. So I mean, when we talk about certification and all, we primarily have classification societies and flag rules. So now what is happening is we have classification societies like DNV and Class NK, which are quite advanced in technology. Class NK has started approving companies for innovation certificates. So we are one of them which have been approached for the innovation certificate. But what happens is the industry on a whole is going through a digital transformation. That is the third part of the pyramid. Yeah, that's the third part of the triangle. So classification societies are collaborating and working with the industry to make guidelines. So when we talk about CMS condition-based monitoring, that is going to be primarily on data. Now, what kind of data they have actually told us, if you go through the guidelines, there are different kind of data. We don't only talk about digital data, we talk about vibration, we talk about thermography, we talk about a lot of things that data can be collected. So they are working in collaboration with the industry to come up with approvals and regulations. So we are not there yet, but we are in the process.
Yeah, because
on a process.
Sorry, can you repeat?
The industry on the whole is in process.
Understood. So if there are common standards and the standards are released, I think there will be better clarity. But I think that's a different discussion, right?
Absolutely. Common standards is when I put the barriers up, clarity is not only on the organizational level, but on the industry level as well. I mean, and another thing about shipping is secrecy. We are a very secret, industry. We don't want to share data. We don't want to, let one person know, what my cargo is. But tell me one thing: when Elon Musk, even the aircraft is tracked, you think companies will not know who's taking whose cargo? So I mean, this is something that we're talking about cultural change. That cultural change is coming, and it will happen. It's sooner than later. It will happen.
Right.
Yeah. I call Captain Pradhan.
Thank you, Captain Shailesh, Bhambhani. In the beginning, like I introduced you to Shailesh, saying that he's got a lot of big jargons, and at the end of this, we are going to be, all issues will be resolved, and we'll be very happy. But here I see the other way around. Now we are more confused. He's told us so many things that probably confused is not the right word, but we are more scared now. Actually, what's going to happen? What's coming? And what you have been saying is very, very true. And we have to sit up, lift up our socks and get ready to understand all this and get into it. We have to. It's time we do that. Anyway, thank you very much for this excellent presentation. And it was really an eye-opener what's going to happen in future. So may I just invite our Captain Kapil Dev Bahl, who's here. So please join us. We'd like to present a memento to Captain Bhambhani at your hands. Yep, can you please come here? Please proceed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that is a wonderful presentation, Capt. Bhambhani. And I think Capt. Pradhan is absolutely right. Such presentations are not meant to satisfy your hunger, really. They just whets the appetite to learn more. And in fact, while you were talking, I was Googling about Ocean Bird and Industry 3. So it tells you what to look for also. That's another thing that we need to learn, what to look for exactly. So your presentation just kickstarts that process. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I would like to thank Captain Chinna. Captain Chinna, are you here?
Yes, yeah.
Ajay, he's here. Please.
Right there.
He was on the screen just now. We are sitting in the other room and coordinating with the chat. So thank you very much. For those who are not familiar with Captain Chinna, he is now heading the IMTC. Earlier we had Mr. Dastur. Before him was Captain Yanki Sharma, and now Captain Chinna is heading to the institute. And sir, wish you all the best. Take the institute further ahead. It's already achieved a lot of things.
Thank you very much.
I would also like to thank the IMTC staff for organizing all this infrastructure. It was very easy for us, though I had to leave my office a little early. But when I came here, everything was ready. The laptop, the screen, the camera, so we just had to walk in and make use of all the facilities. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for that. I would also like to thank our office staff, the CEO, Captain Sashi Kumar, and ably supported by Mr. Sudhir Palkar, who's very much here running around organizing things. The media who's sitting around here, we have Marex, we have Job, Bhandarkar Shipping News, Sailor Today, who's not present here, but they're in the background. Some of you must be watching this live on YouTube. So Sailor Today, thanks for that. Sagar Sandesh and the Maritime Destination. You all are sitting here. Thank you, sir. I would also like to thank Captain Jha, our master, for his vision in organizing such an event. The subject, the speaker, and it's his vision. Captain Jha and Captain Basin as well, ably supported by Captain Gyanendra Singh, our treasurer. He also keeps giving us some excellent ideas and beautiful inputs. Thanks for that. And as you know, no event is successful without the audience. So audience, today we have audience sitting here, we have audience sitting on their laptops at home. So thanks everybody, and it has been a pleasure having you. With that, we come to the end of this session. Thank you very much. Goodbye and good night. It was close.